Following on my earlier video on the F-84F Thunderstreak in 172 scale, I mentioned that I had a 148 scale Heller Thunderstreak, and after digging around a little bit, I managed to find it. So this is the Heller 148 Republic F-84F Thunderstreak. And it's an old beat up issue of this. I think this was issued way back in the 1980s or even 70s or something. It's old, and I know it's old because it still has the old price tag from Hannon's. Those of you who know Hannon's, Hannon's is this huge model shop in UK. It's still in business from what I know. And I visited the shop in, if I'm not mistaken, Colindale, way back in 1993. And I bought this for the princely sum of £5.99. It was a beautiful shop, and I had bought a lot of stuff from them. And I think I will have a couple of pieces more to show you from that period of my life when I was buying stuff like this. So anyway, this is the Heller kit in 148 scale. And let's just have a look at the box. On the side, you have some nice profiles of the color schemes that will be available on the decal sheet. And you have this, some details to tell you what you get in the kit. Let's turn it around. A bit more of a repeat on this side. Not sure why they did that, but there we are. So although the box does look a little bit beat up, everything inside seems to be okay, I think. So and it's a nice bit of nostalgia. I like the box art. So let's have a look at this. I'm just pull this off. Of course, everything is bigger, right? So let's start with this. This is the transparencies. Now, of course, being in 148 scale, everything looks better in the sense that it's, even transparencies in that time in 48 scale wouldn't be, overly thick or anything, because it's bigger. And this is no exception. It's nice. Now, immediately you can see that there's going to be an issue, right? If you want to pose this thing open, you will have to either cut this thing apart or get aftermarket vac form canopy transparencies. Okay, but from what I can see, and from hopefully you can see it as well, it's nice and thin. A bit of distortion, of course, but really in this scale, this is very acceptable. Typical Heller. If you see, those bits which need to be painted are in a slightly frosted finish, right, where everything else is clear. Nice. So I got this bag, so let me just put it in. I think I should get a better bag than this. This one looks a bit dodgy. Okay, I'll put that aside. Now let's just take this out. Now, as you can see, the bag is already opened. So I'm just gonna pull that off so that you can get to see everything. Now, this kit, from what I know, is no longer in production, is no longer in the catalog. So if you want this kit for whatever reason, this thing is only available from the second-hand market, the pre-loved market. Okay, that's just an aside. But okay, first glance, nice, fine, raised detail. Okay, that's the air brake bay. Wheel wells. Now this brings me to the first niggle. Apparently on the internet, the view is that this is too shallow. It does look a little bit on the shallow side, but frankly, at least it's there. Can you imagine if this was not there and all you saw was the roof of that, right? That being said, one solution they could have done to make it slightly deeper would have been to mold the detail here so that when you sandwich the wings together, you know, even at 1/2 millimeter, 1 millimeter might have made a lot more difference. But you know what? I don't really care because at least it's a closed off wheel well, right? And in this scale, nah, it's okay. A bit of paint, that should work fine. Nice shape of the fuselage. I'm not going to pop it off the sprue, not just yet anyway. Just a small comment though. Apparently the fuselage is like 1 or 2 scale inches longer than it should be. It's about here somewhere. I don't know. I can't tell. It looks like a F-84F Thunderstreak fuselage to me, so I'm not going to again quibble about it. That's the front bit which goes here, around here. That's the splitter. You know, if you look at the kit box, you see what I mean. That bit there. You know, the open air intake is there, and then there's a little splitter plate inside there which splits the air around the cockpit. Okay, the cockpit area. So that's one sprue. Let's move that bit of plastic away. And then we have the other side, a repeat. Now this one has pylons. That's the other side of the thing, of the fuselage, and then you have the pylons, and then you have the wings. Okay. Likewise for this one, you had the splitter, and then you have the nose wheel doors. Okay. And the other half of the pylons. These are probably the wing root pylons. It's almost like standard feature on the Thunderstreak. They have these pylons to hold these. Every Thunderstreak that I've seen has these. Okay, and it was supposed to be a long-range fighter bomber, so these things came almost as standard. But I think without them, this plane would probably have had very short legs. Tail stabilizers, and then the wheels. Now the wheels are actually in halves, and they have some nice detail. I can't tell you whether the detail is accurate or not, but it does look nice and sharp. Yeah, I hope you can see that. Very nice. And then that's the nose wheel. Again, very nice detail. Okay. And then you have a tailpipe. Those bits, which is good, because that means your plane isn't hollow. That's the cockpit tub. Again, that's one of the weaknesses. Apparently, it's a bit sad, detail-wise. But again, because the canopy is closed, and you have this seat, which again, I can't tell whether or not it's accurate or not. I can't say whether it's accurate or not. The result is that you probably can't really tell much detail beyond whatever you see. At least they've got side consoles and everything else, and some raised detail. Air brakes. Nice interior detail on the air brakes, but they're solid. Okay, and if you feel these are raised dimples. It's like raised rivets, right? Which I don't think is quite right. These are supposed to be perforations, so these have to be replaced. Undercarriage. Now, the doors appear to me to be molded as if the aircraft is with its gear down. The interior of the gear doors is here, and then you have that. And apparently what happens is that I think these doors go onto that. Okay. If you want to do a wheels up option, I'm not sure whether you can. We'll have a look at the instruction sheet later to see what happens. I used to build all my models wheels up so that I could zoom them around the living room or something. but not anymore. So let's look at this. Now, I mentioned in my other video on the Airfix kit that I had photo etch for this particular kit. Actually, I don't think I do, because I had a look at it, and this is actually for the monogram kit. So, question mark, whether or not I can use these bits to dress up the Hella kit. But good to have this. I mean, when I saw this, I just snapped it up. I didn't really care. Because you have the air brake doors and the interior is provided, and as you can see, they're all perforations. So this is accurate. Interestingly enough, this thing will have to be rolled so as to approximate the capture the fuselage curve, right? Ejection seat is provided, so at least I can use this to dress up that plastic kit plastic kit supplied seat. Instrument panel, so quite a bit of stuff here that I can use to probably dress that kit up. The only question is whether it will fit, because it's designed for the monogram kit, and apparently the monogram kit is a little bit more accurate than this one. But this is all I have right now. Instruction sheet, nice, clear, big. That looks very nice actually. Very clear, very clean. It doesn't look like as if it's got underwing stores. And there does not appear to be any option to put this thing in wheels up. Yeah. It doesn't show you that it can be in wheels up. Okay, well. Cockpit tub with the seats and everything, with the seat and everything else. That's the splitter. That's the wheels. Nope, no option at all. Thanks. And this. Now, the other color scheme is here, which is the Jabo, the West German Luftwaffe Jabo, which is the Jagdbomber. That's basically a fighter bomber. And then there's a Belgian version. Okay, both of these are in camouflage. The French one is silver. I used to get really afraid of doing silver, but nowadays I find that doing silver is probably the easiest. I just spray it out of can. Okay, so that's the instruction sheets, and now we come to this. Now, as a pilot, now don't ask me why the pilot isn't white. I don't know whether it's because the original the original owner of the kit. By the way, Hannons was selling this at £5.99 because this was in their pre-owned section. So it could well be that somebody borrowed the pilot from inside there and then replaced it with this one, which may not necessarily be correct, but I've got a pilot figure. Okay. Let me see. So back to the decals. As you can see, I had the foresight of putting this into Ziploc when I first got the kit. Yeah. Okay. I am not going to try and tear this off. Oh, I can. Well, a bit of it anyway. Yellowed. These bits are all yellowed, definitely. Not likely to be that usable, but it's not that difficult to find replacements anyway. It's useful as a spare sheet. I'm going to put this in and seal it up. So that's the kit. Let me just seal that in. Get that out of the way. Okay, so pilot figure, instruction sheet. Now let me see. If I can find the pilot which comes with this kit. That's the instrument panel, in case you are wondering. Not too bad, actually. No pilot figure at all. So looks like as if he went AWOL, missing. He probably popped off the sprues, and I can't locate him anymore. I can't even locate the position where he was on the sprues. So okay, never mind. It looks almost like as if the pilot figure is supplied as a separate loose figure, or that was just a replacement given by somebody. Now, a couple of comments to make. It's a very simple kit. In 48 scale, it's a very simple kit. But then again, of course, this was a fairly simple aircraft, right? Nothing fancy. What you immediately notice, of course, is that the kit does not come with underwing stores other than the fuel tanks. Okay. Which, as I said, was standard. So if you want to hang stuff, ordnance off the pylons, you will have to source for your own 1960s era bombs or drop tanks or something. And if it's German, then it's German. If it's French, then it's French. If it's Belgian, then it's Belgian. Look for some NATO standard 148 scale bombs, I suppose, or rocket pods. I don't know whether this thing carried what rocket pods. I would imagine it did. But generally, just by looking at the sprues, I think this kit, although it's simple, will build up quite nicely, and you will get something which looks pretty much like an F-84F Thunderstreak. A simple build, obviously, so nothing that will tax anybody, actually, to be honest. I don't like using phrases like best for beginners and all that, because I think whatever it is, we are all learning. We are all in the process of learning how to build models, and every model is a new learning process. So I'm a beginner. Anybody is a beginner when it comes to a kit which I've never built before. If I've built one before, then obviously, yes, I won't be a beginner. But there we are. F-84F Thunderstreak in 148 scale by Hella. Is it a nice kit? It's okay. Is it 100% accurate? I don't know. But I like this. At some point, I'll probably build it, and I'll get some aftermarket decals for this. Thank you for dropping by. And I will see you again with another video from my stash of old inaccessible models. This one is not accessible anymore, so I'm glad that I was able to have this opportunity to share this kit with you. It's not something that you will be able to find in the shops easily. So one more look at what you get in the kit, and I shall see you again. Thank you for dropping by, and as always, I welcome your comments. Give me feedback, help me to be a better contributor and a better content creator for all of you. Thank you, and as always, happy modeling.